I tend to err on the side of protecting women and girls, especially when comparing to a percentage of a population. And so I take that philosophy when it comes to, transgender individuals in women's sports and pretty much every sex segregated space. That's just how I view it. However, I do think that it's literally not a black and white issue anymore. I know that gender is binary, but in 2023, there are a lot of, for lack of a better term, non-binary approaches to the issue, and I don't think it's a one-size-fits-all issue. At the end of the day, I tend to believe that a private business can make its own decisions, but currently, again, it's not a binary solution. Currently, the way the laws are set up is that a lot of businesses could be sued, even for making that decision if they don't let self-identified trans women into women's bathrooms. Do you see that as an issue?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. Because especially in places like California and stuff like that, they force businesses to do this stuff.
And it's not just bathrooms, right? It's like
locker
rooms.
Yeah, when the We Spa incident happened, I said we would never know what that spa actually wanted to do and what their rules would be. And so the protests for the spa were at the wrong spot. They should be protesting the government to change that law so that, like you said, private businesses can make that choice. My solution is that in government spaces, government-funded places, that we have a third space. Like most government buildings have them. I'm down at the Capitol, and they have them. I use the third space down there. But then everywhere else, it should be left up to businesses. And I think that if you allow businesses to get sued, like if slip and fall cases, you can sue a business for slip and fall cases. If something happens because of the negligence that they have around their rules around bathrooms, then they should be allowed to get sued as well by the victim of a crime. And so I think that will help them develop better, safeguards. That doesn't just necessarily mean banning, because then you also have to talk about how do you enforce these, what their rules are. And I think that's something that individual businesses have the right to make. It's a private property issue, not as much a, individual rights issue.
Right. I've had such a hard time specifically with the bathroom issue, because I understand that there are predators out there that want to take advantage of the current social climate, and want to enter women's spaces and want to pretend to be trans so that they can do that and get away with it. But I've also just had so many friends, Sarah included, that I'm like, I'm sure the men would feel uncomfortable if they entered the space, right? So it's such a complex issue, and I do think that is where the beauty of the free market could work, where individual business owners and businesses can kind of figure this out on a case-by-case level. One of the problems I have with current conservative legislation that's been coming out about bathrooms is the sweeping nature of it, right? It doesn't account for externalities. And same with leftist legislation that's just like, oh, businesses should be able to be sued if they don't let whoever go into whatever bathroom.